And so today I make my kinda comeback, and I'm doing so with the Scene Defender. This time around we'll be looking at not a single scene from one episode, but rather an entire arc, namely the Equestria Games arc. Now there's a lot of stuff that people took issue from this arc, but I think I can make most of it make sense. Now let's start with one of the big ones. Why did Rainbow Dash pick Fluttershy and Bulk Biceps for the aerial relay team? Now Fluttershy is kind of easy. Flutters is Dashy's best friend and they do pretty much everything together. Plus, Fluttershy has demonstrated on multiple occasions that she's a great flyer when she wants to be. As for Bulk, well, while it is true that he ended up not being a great choice, Dashy was reasonable to think that he would be a solid choice for the team. Rainbow knew Bulk from two events prior to the tryouts, the Water Tornado from Hurricane Fluttershy and the Wonderbolt Academy from Wonderbolt Academy. In both instances, he performed pretty well, so Rainbow thought he probably would make a good choice for the team, at least on paper. Whenever people say Dash should have chose someone else for the team, they usually name someone like Cloud Chaser or Thunderlane. Well, Rainbow only knew those two from the same two events that she knew Bulk from. And in fact, Bulk had better credentials than Thunderlane because Thunderlane was out with the feather flu when they made the tornado. This leads to another problem people have. Why did Bulk suck at flying during this arc? Which, I'll be honest, the best answer I have is that nerves got to him. Maybe Bulk has a sense of duty and can really get the job done when his town needs him, like when they needed to get the tornado to Cloudsdale or when they needed to attack Tyrek. But when it's just for some game, he clams up. That's the best I got. Let me know if you have a better answer. Now then, were those two good choices for the team in the end? I'd say no for Bulk, seeing as how this was the time splits after the first relay. But Fluttershy? Abso-freaking-lutely! Unfortunately, we don't have the exact time after the first two relays for all 5 teams, since the first 3 flyers were gone by the time the camera came back to the second handoff for Ponyville's team. However, we did see the 4th place team make their handoff, so we can use that number. Now, the team that was in 4th at that time was actually in 2nd after the first relay. So let's compare. After the first relay, Ponyville's team was 3.97 seconds behind that team. After the second relay, that gap was down to 1.63 seconds. Fluttershy ran her relay almost 2.5 seconds faster than that competitor. So either that guy has just as little business being there as Bulk, or Fluttershy did great. Another one I've seen is the fact that Rainbow was able to catch Spitfire, but then ran neck and neck with her to the finish. Shouldn't she have been able to pass her if she was fast enough to gain all of that ground? Well, this is actually a common thing in racing, in any form. Look in the background during the interaction between Spike and Miss Harshwinny. Rainbow was way behind Spitfire even that late in the race. Rainbow had used up all of her energy catching up to Spitfire, and when it came time to pass her, she just didn't have enough left in the tank. Plus, Spitfire would have had plenty left in the tank since Rainbow was the first pony to give her a challenge in the race. The second place team for most of that relay was the Griffin team, and their flyer was almost 2.5 seconds behind her. So basically, Spitfire was peaking while Rainbow was fading. I think that's enough for now, but before I go, I want to thank my first few Patreon supporters, Sonic Silverstar, Wolfkeen, and Zachary Taylor. Thanks, guys. And one of those guys, Wolfkeen, wanted me to show you his video where he talked about his thoughts on an actual My Little Pony movie. In it, he talked about the difficulty of making a plot for a movie that wouldn't just feel like the same thing that you'd see in the show, comparing it to Pokemon fans wanting a console game back in Generation 3, debated whether or not such a movie would be canon, and made a lot more really good points, so you should go check it out. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, go check out my Patreon page. The rewards for that will be on that page and in the video I made about it. Thanks a bunch, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. The Equestria Games storyline caught a lot of flack, so there may have been some stuff that I've missed. So in the comments, let me know if you had any other problems with this storyline. I'll try to answer them in the comments as well as I can, and if there's a lot of them, I might make a part 2 for this video. Anyway, thanks, and I'll see y'all later.